We also had the opportunity to talk to a representative from Uber. They've been in and out of town, as you know. So this time we actually caught them via Google Hangout. Here's what the folks at Uber had to say about St. Louis.
Uber, simply put, is an app on your phone that connects riders with drivers. Just at the push of a button, you're able to call a car that can come and pick you up in minutes. What's really great about Uber is that we are now in 150 cities around the United States, over 300 cities around the world. It's truly transformed the way people get around. With our low-cost option, which is UberX, and that's cheaper than a taxi, this means rides, but it also means jobs and flexible income opportunities in which people are able to work at their own schedule part-time by driving with a platform like UberX. Uber's model is very different. We're not a taxi company. The whole premise of Uber is based on a lot of people working part-time and a lot of individuals working just a couple hours a week. That's what allows for the reliability and the flexibility that we have on the platform so that anybody can get a ride within 5 minutes. St. Louis is the largest metropolitan area in the United States without Uber. And the last few weeks alone have really, I think, shown that the people of St. Louis are really standing up, really want more options for transportation in their city, really want more options for Uber in their city, and they're making their voices heard. The process of bringing Uber to St. Louis has been going through the Metropolitan Taxi Commission, who has the ability to bring Uber on July 29th, which is their next meeting. And this is something that they know what they can do that would open the doors for Uber to come to St. Louis. And it's really important that they do the right thing and that they allow for this new option here for the people of St. Louis. There's been a lot of discussion about how that's possible, and ultimately it comes down to modern regulations, the similar types of regulations that have been enacted across the country. And it's important for the Metropolitan Taxi Commission to know that times have changed. Things aren't the same as they were 15, 20 years ago. The world's changed, and the world's changed through technology. And it's important to adapt regulations that move with those advances in technology and not continue to kind of live in a world before the creation of smartphones or the internet. There have been a lot of discussions around things like safety and background checks. And Uber enacts background checks through every single driver before they're brought on the system. We take that very seriously, and every single driver goes through a rigorous background check before they're brought on the system. Those background checks are different than what's currently run by the Missouri State Highway Patrol and what the MTC sees fit to implement. And we're doing over 1 million rides a day around the world, which is an incredible scale. We focus on safety not just before the ride. So again, we're not just looking at background checks, which has been the status quo for so many years. We look at safety through the entire completion of the ride, from the moment that a customer requests the ride to the moment they get into the car to the moment the trip is complete. Our background check is, will take a few days to complete, and in certain cases, the company will dive into individual court records, go into these individual court communities, and dig up the most relevant filings. So it's incredibly rigorous. We check through several different databases and through several different counties, as well as things like the sex offender registry and the terrorist watch list, to ensure that there's an incredibly strong amount of rigor and thoroughness that goes into it. More options are always better for consumers, and people continue to use taxis, people continue to use buses, people continue to use trains. Now people will use Uber, right? And while we plan to have several opportunities, several individuals come on the platform, the way the Uber model works is that it's a lot of people doing a little bit at a given time. And these are part-time, flexible opportunities for individuals. So while one individual on the platform may not necessarily mean they're working a full-time hour or shift on Uber necessarily, they could just be doing a couple hours in the weeks. But ultimately, more competition and more choices is a good thing. And I think this is ultimately what's better for customers as well. We're very dedicated to the St. Louis market and have been working at this for over a year now, and very much want to be here. Again, it's the largest metropolitan area in the United States without Uber, and the people of St. Louis really need this and have been clamoring for this. So we're very dedicated to have this option available, and great for the great need and resources that come with it.